Can I come? Can I come to you?
Put your finger down and match it to the ticket. Is that the finger you normally use?
Sorry?
Is that the finger you've been using?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't link. Try it again. Magic band again.
Okay.
Put your finger down. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm in Nikki and George. They are in the restroom. Now I have to go get a stroller because I can't hold these bags. They're too heavy. I had to have a stroller.
Let's go. Well, Chapo, good morning, my friends.
Okay.
My name is Matt, and I'm going to be your safari guide for our adventure into the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Just a few safety reminders, though. We ask that everyone please remain seated at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck, and to please not call out to the animals as they are wild, and we want to respect them in their homes. Now, if you want to take any pictures, you're more than welcome to. We just recommend putting your camera in a sport or action setting, as we cannot stop for every single species, and some of the animals are a little more active than others. But as we begin here in the Little Aturi Forest, a lot of our friends use the heavy and dense vegetation as a type of camouflage. But coming around the corner, take a look up to the left-hand side here, you might find some bongo and greater kudu, the light brown coat with the white stripes. And then over to the right-hand side, hiding right by the bamboo, is going to be an okapi.
Okapi?
Now with okapi, they're going to have striped legs that resemble the zebra. However, they're the only living relative of the giraffe. So like a giraffe, males can grow ossicones on their head, which will be the little bumps, and they all share a similar type of skeletal structure. But it should also be known that with the okapi, they were seen to be mythical creatures to North America up until 1901. That's when the Western world was first introduced to them, and their popularity skyrocketed. But coming around the corner over to the left here is a watering hole, a great place for animals to get their H2O and even socialize with one another. But looking up on that first set of hills there, it looks like we're gonna have nothing. Pretty empty up there right now. But right around the corner, our friend did get a late wake-up call, taking a nap right by his wall there. It is going to be the black rhino.
Oh, it's a rhino.
Hi, Rhino.
Now, as you can see, that is a pretty large fellow, weighing about 3,000 pounds fully grown. But never judge them by their size, as it can also pick up speeds of 35 miles per hour. So it's kind of like a little semi-truck just getting its rest. But with the majority of our friends here in the forest, they will become much more active when the sun is completely down. That's because they know some predators don't have the best of vision at nighttime. So they'll take advantage of that when they come out, graze, and socialize even more. But the second that they sense danger nearby, they'll just go hide in the bushes and wait for things to clear on out. And I believe with a few of our feathered friends, the saddle-billed storks, I think they're also hiding just behind the bushes to the left, so you might get a quick glimpse at some black and white feathers back there.
I don't see.
But it looks like while they're going to be hiding from us, we're actually going to make our way out of the forest now and head on down towards the Sambi River. Now the river is going to be home to some more of the aquatic animals in Africa, so we'll keep our eyes on the water to see who's nearby, but we'll also listen out for a wheeze honk. It's like a grunt and a snarl mixed together, and it's a sound hippos make in order to communicate. So right around this turn here, looking in the back right corner, might see a couple of the hippos. They are submerged and even using each other as pillows back there. But that is definitely a good sign, as we should hopefully find a bloat coming on up ahead. A bloat is what you call a much larger group of hippos. So that portion of the river there will go underneath the road and then pick up again right around the corner over to our left. Oh yeah, sure enough, there's that bloat. They're all hanging out right behind the island there. Go up a little more.
A bird coming
Now,
in.
when they're positioned like that, what they're going to do is use their ears to hear on land, and then the lower jaws pick up sound waves. That way they'll be able to listen in both areas at the same time. But keeping a close eye on the hippos here will be some vultures who are local to the area, have no significance in Africa, but also some pink-backed pelicans. They're going to be on the island and swimming around. Now, with those pelicans, they will get a pink color on the skin to signify mating season, but they're also pretty social birds living in pods that range anywhere from 20 to 500.
A stick, Mr. Stick.
Now going back to those hippos though, I bet you're wondering what exactly do they eat that make them so large? Well, they are herbivores, meaning that they only eat plants, vegetables, and fruit. But as we get past the waterfalls here, we might also find the carnivores of the river, as it looks like some Nile crocodile are going to be in the water, and also got a couple hiding in the back shoreline there. But here we go, right in between the two islands. Here's a good look at one kind of submerged.
Oh, look. That's huge.
Now with the Nile crocodile, they're the largest of the species, weighing about 500 pounds as they grow between 16 to 20 feet.
That's large.
But oftentimes the crocodiles and the alligators are confused with each other. And there's a very simple way to tell them apart.
That is huge.
Alligators have more of a rounded snout with their teeth sticking in the mouth, while the crocodiles have that pointed snout with their teeth sticking out of the mouth. But if you make your way over towards Dino Land a little later on, right across from Restaurantosaurus, there's going to be the North American crocodile. That way you can get just a little bit closer to really see how large they actually are.
Dino Land?
But for us here, we're going to change ecosystems yet again with a lot of newer trees and bushes going on. Now we'll go leafless for 9 months out of the year in order to conserve energy, but that massive trunk stores about 1,000 gallons of water inside to keep it living, thus earning itself another nickname, which is the Tree of Life. But with that tree, it means that we'll be heading on down to my favorite part of the reserve here, and that is going to be the savannah. Now with the savannah, it'll play home to a couple million migratory animals every single year, and it will also act as their super highway across.
The mama tree. It's a baby
so as we head on down towards the savannah, it looks like quite a few of our friends are going to be out and about.
The Tree of Life.
So in just a few more minutes here, we are going to make a giant U-turn. That way we can get just a little bit closer to those giraffes. But again, along the way, I think we are going to run into a few more of our other friends. Now with the animals though that come through here, they will act as their own grounds crew. So giraffes are a tenuous cycle that will repeat itself. But taking a look right past the hedges and bushes off to our left, we are going to find some predators nearby. I'm going to point you right past this rock formation, but we're going to get a better look at some African wild dogs. Now, even though they aren't technically part of the canine species, they're not related to our pets back home, as these guys only have 4 toes, and the domesticated dogs have 5 toes. So again, you can see one kind of by the little tree over to the left. Everyone else is still kind of hiding in the shade for right now. But while they seem pretty cute, they are one of the most successful pack hunters in Africa. They can chase their prey down to exhaustion, and then from there, the circle of life commences. But while they're going to try their best to stay cool before they go out and get some lunch behind their den, we're actually going to find a few more of our smaller friends. They'll be hiding just by the larger trees in the shade over to the left. But those are going to be the little springbok gazelle. Zebra right by that tree. It's often asked whether they're black with white stripes or white with black stripes. Best way to tell is by looking at the nose and hooves, since that's part of the skin. So for example, that zebra there is going to be black with white stripes. But zebras are rather very quick learners. They actually begin walking and running about 30 minutes after birth. So if there was danger nearby, they could have no problem getting away with their family. Now we're going to come across this tower very soon here. It looks like they're going to go cause more giraffe jams in just a moment. But over to our right hand side, here's a real good look at one of those giraffes sitting right by the tree. Now more specifically, this is the Maasai giraffe, and go figure, as soon as we pull up, it starts walking away.
Bye-bye.
But to kind of give you another good size comparison, take one of the Nile crocodiles we saw not too long ago. When you measure it from the tip of its tail to the tip of its snout, that is the height of one of these giraffes. So this shows you how large both those animals are in their own respective rights. Now don't worry here, we are going to catch up to more of the giraffes, and I believe some little ones that will also be just a little farther out of the grasslands. But for those of you on the right hand side, a closer look at one of the mountain zebras here. Now we're also going to find some more wildebeest when we come around the corner. They're going to be laying down in the back here, but we'll get another angle in just a second as we get around the bushes. With wildebeest, it'll also look like they're going to have stripes on their sides, but in reality, those are going to be sweat stains. So like how we get too hot and sweat through our t-shirts, they'll get too hot and sweat right through their coats. But again, in the meantime, we're just going to go poly-poly right behind that giraffe who is literally in the middle of the road.
There's a car on the road. It's the giraffe or the truck.
Speaking of great migration, it looks like that giraffe has made its way out of the road, so we'll be able to pull around a little more here. Oh, but my goodness, it looks like little Humphrey has stopped in his tracks, letting his siblings go right on by him. He is about 6 months old.
It's a baby. It's a cute little baby.
Now, I will say with confidence that is one of the biggest babies on the planet, and I do mean that in all respect. They're born about 6 feet tall and begin walking and running about an hour after birth, but they're also introduced to the world with a 6-foot drop. That's because the moms give birth standing up, so when they hit the ground, it's kind of like their wake-up call. Well, they're going to graze away for a little while longer, as they usually spend 20 hours out of the day eating and only 30 minutes a day sleeping.
Wow.
So they'll be eating up on that little hill for the time being. Now for giving us that cold shoulder. Oh yeah, we got the little ones. Actually, a couple little ones. They're going to be hanging out with their moms just down below here by the trees as well. But with mandrills, they're the largest of the monkeys, with the full-grown male weighing about 100 pounds. And with these two little ones, the smallest one, that's going to be Ivy and her older sister Olive.
You're fighting.
Olive is one of them. Because to match the daily dietary needs of just one elephant, we would have to eat about 500 full-size Snickers bars in one sitting. So it really shows how much they can consume in a full 24-hour day. So we're going to have the matriarch. That's going to be the one right next to us here. She is the mother and the leader of the herd. And with the little one, it is hanging out with her older sister right now, but during the day, the little ones will run around with the aunts and cousins and the siblings, just having fun being kids. However, though, at nighttime, just like how we used to have a curfew, they also have a curfew. Mom will call them back just to guarantee their safety when it's time to get some sleep. But as we get around the elephant watering hole here, we might be able to find a few more of our feathered friends just coming up around the corner, as we're going to find a flamboyance. That is a group of greater flamingo just off to the left. Now they get their name greater because they are the largest of their species, but it should be known that they're also the lightest shade pink, whereas the lesser flamingo near the center of the park will be the brightest shade pink. And for the first couple years of their lives, flamingos will be a shade of gray and white, and in order to get that pink color, they're going to eat beta carrots and shrimp and other small crustaceans out of the shallow water there. But for us here, we're going to make our way out of the grassland portion of the savannah and head on over into the forest portion of the savannah, where hopefully we can find a few more of our larger friends and possibly some more antelope. They can't see more than 10 feet in front of them.
Oh.
So naturally, rhinos are actually gentle giants and only become aggressive when tempted to do so. But there's a good look at little man out there.
Look how
I also want to give a hat off to his mama, because for a rhino, the normal gestation period is 18 months. That's how long she had to carry him before she gave birth. But it is good to see both of them healthy and happy. So they produce milk and cheese not only for the villagers, but also for the wardens, who in return take care of them. And then along with their dairy services, they are also going to be used for the lawn mowing skills, as they'll be able to dig up a lot of the deeply rooted vegetation that most wildlife could not reach. But it looks like they're going to be hanging out for a little while longer. That's also going to be unfortunate for us here, because it means that we'll be approaching the end of